For those who don't know, what is the Mad Encounter and what inspired it?
M.A.D is a short story that I started writing initially in university, and then last year I picked it up again and I basically finished it. It's a story where it's a comedy actually, where a crazy stalker breaks into her favorite writer's house, flat, sorry, um, and then it's like begins like a whole scene where she tries to marry him, and it's just a lot of madness going on there. So it's like a comedy that I think everyone can enjoy. Got a lot of humor, got a lot of wit, and yeah, basically it's out 17th of March via Word Jar, so look out for
Yeah.
that.
So it's going to be available online.
It's gonna be available online, and basically at my event, Check My Flow event coming up soon, all the attendees we're gonna get a free copy of that as well. So
Okay.
yeah, first available online, and then from there free copies at the event.
That's a good look.
Yeah.
Alright then. So in terms of your poetry, when did you begin writing?
Um, Started writing when I was around about 16. Um, Started writing about a girl, which obviously typical poet type thing.
Yeah.
And then from there, I was writing, and then it wasn't until my friends started saying to me, "Oh, Anthony, you got talent, da da da. You should take it further." And at first, I never really believed them, and then I thought he was trying to gas me up in it. So I think I took a little break and I kind of stepped back and I came back, and then I read the work I'd done initially. I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is like it's quite nice, isn't it? So since then, I've basically kind of been just progressing and kind of developing myself as a writer, as a poet, really. So been around about 10 years now. I'm 26 now, so
Yeah.
10 years of writing.
So a decade.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's actually weird actually when I think about a decade of writing.
So in terms of your experience as a poet,
Yeah.
what's it been like and how do you feel about poetry, not only in London, but the UK as a whole?
I think, well, in London particularly, the scene's just like it's bubbling right now. It's like just getting huge and huge. Like
Yeah.
from when I started writing poetry, I didn't really know of many events, but now, there's groups on Facebook, groups on Twitter. But like everyone that I encounter nowadays is a poet. Which is
Yeah.
quite good actually. So I think right now the scene's getting really really big. Obviously people like George the poet are like really establishing themselves and really getting poetry in UK as a whole obviously more known
Yeah,
and
taking it to
stuff.
another level.
Yeah, another level and stuff like that, isn't it? So I think the scene in general is really expanding and growing, and I think it's based on the talent of the writers and the poets and the spoken word artists within the scene that are really helping it grow. So obviously big up to everyone that's in the scene right now. You know who you are. There's no point listing names of people forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically my experience as a poet. My experiences have been like largely positive. Like I can't say there's anything negative. Obviously with poetry, you know, it's one of the things where it's one of the art forms where it's appreciated by everyone. So,
Yeah.
but my experiences have been positive really.
Okay. So who would you say has influenced you the most to be the creative person you are today?
My biggest impression is Tupac.
Okay.
Without him, I don't think I would have started writing. Like his book,
The
I don't
Rose
know
That Grew from
yeah,
Concrete.
that book
Yeah.
is like legendary,
Very inspiring.
very inspiring. Like with him, I think he's one of the few artists where he's like he himself as an artist is a human being in the sense that every type of song that you could listen to was something different, whether it's like aggression, passion,
Yeah.
song about his mom, song about his like girls liked.
Yeah.
He expressed every type of emotion, human emotion that was possible. Was other rappers, some of them are just like one trick ponies where it's like money or girls or whatever. But with him,
Yeah.
any type of emotion that a human being goes through, he would obviously write a song about that. Same thing with poetry. So he's one of the first people that I really started digging in terms of what he was doing, and then from there, people like my Angelou, Langston Hughes,
Okay.
people like that really. But obviously Tupac is the one that I would say the biggest inspiration for me.
So do you have a favorite poem that's kind of inspired you the most?
Uh, Probably the roads are good from concrete, like
Alright.
that poem there, because what it signifies really, like to actually have something as beautiful as a rose going through the cracks of concrete, which is quite harsh and like
Yeah.
it just signifies that from whatever background you come from, you can have a dream and make it through.
Yeah, define the odds.
Like
Yeah.
even like for example, like Lupita, who obviously won the Oscar the other
Yeah.
day.
12 years a slave, yeah.
As like a dark skinned woman or a black person, you know, what her speech was said that no matter who you are, you know, every person has a dream. You can obviously do something with that. You know, that type of stuff is quite inspiring. So
Yeah.
that poem there is deep. It's deep.
Okay. So in terms of your creativity, how does your creativity influence your personal ambitions?
Um, I think it influences quite a lot because because I work in marketing.
Yeah.
Obviously, luckily that allows me to be creative. So the poetry allows me to think of like marketing campaigns that are original, and obviously that other more academic professionals will probably think of. So the poetry allows me to do that. Obviously, with marketing, I do stuff like copywriting and blogging and stuff like that. So obviously, the writing from poetry helps me to write, obviously, professionally as well. So I'd say poetry really does help me both creatively and obviously professionally in terms of writing, thinking creatively, doing things out of the box, that type of thing. Really,
All right.
it's really a big influence.
So you're the founder of Check My Flow.
Yeah, yeah.
What exactly does it represent,
hmm
and what does the future hold for it?
Summer Flow basically is an events company.
Yeah.
So we've got an event coming up on the 21st in Bethnal Green called Aspire to Inspire. The future for us is basically just trying to carve our own lane within the events industry, have our own events being recognized alongside other people's events, um, breaking new artists
Yeah.
because I think that's a big thing. Obviously, all the artists that are in the scene right now, obviously that's great, but
Yeah.
you know, for the scene to keep growing, we need to break new artists. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that me myself as the head of events is trying to do. Basically, trying to get in new artists and bring in new audiences that like poetry but might not know where to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically just kind of just taking poetry as far as we can really, just with events, doing more YouTube series like we did the first series last year called the Poet Series. So trying to do more series this year, go into merchandising. So basically kind of just taking poetry as far as wide as possible really, because you know poetry is not just words on a page or you know words on a mic. I think
Yeah.
poetry can be many things really.
It's a way of life.
Exactly, it's a way of
Yeah.
life. Yeah, definitely.
So in terms of your dreams and ambitions,
Yeah.
what's next for you as a person?
As a person, well, this year I've got a lot of projects. I'm not really one to say what I'm doing in case things flop
Yeah.
or don't work out as planned. But obviously this year I want to do two projects. Obviously, first project is the M.A.D Encounter, coming out March 17th, on the date.
Okay.
And I've got another project coming out summertime called Peace, which stands for poetic expression alongside conscious emotion. It's going to be 15 poems about many different social issues. So I'm going to do a lot of videos for that as well. And apart from that, there's a lot of other things that I'm in the pipeline, but I can't really say yet because it's kind of developing. But there's a lot of things. Basically, by the end of the year, hopefully, more people should know who I am or have seen my work or know what I'm doing. Really, that's the aim. Really, because you know, if you're not growing as an individual or as a writer or as a person, then obviously
You're not evolving.
you're not evolving. Yeah,
Yeah.
evolve or die.
Yeah, true.
Evolve or die.
So you've got a website.
Your website is antilyrics.com. So there you can find all my personal projects, everything about me. Then also there is the checkmyflow.co.uk where basically you can find all the stuff about Check My Flow as a brand, our events, the team, Facebook. Basically everything is Check My Flow or Anti Lyrics. So with myself, it's Facebook, Anti Lyrics, Twitter, Anti Lyrics, Instagram, Anti Lyrics, YouTube coming soon, Anti Lyrics.
Yeah.
Check My Flow, it's Come Check My Flow, so COME, Check My Flow. So that's Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, what was it there? Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as well. So
Yeah.
all the social media outlets, you can find us on there really.
So you're looking forward to the future, yeah?
Definitely. I think the future is, not to be cliche, the future is bright. The future is Anthony. So yeah, so a lot of things in the pipeline that I hope I can really wow people with what I'm doing. That's the aim really. So if I can do that, then I know I'm happy.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you for that.